What's happening, friends? Welcome to Podcast Unlocked, the world's numero uno Xbox podcast.
We did it.
I'm
proud of us.
Sorry, Major Nelson.
Number one.
Love you, though. I'm Ryan McCaffrey. That's Destin Legary. Marty
everybody.
Sleva.
Hey,
Alana
everybody.
Pierce will be along as soon as she's unstuck in traffic. She'll be here momentarily. There's a lot to get to this week, guys. Right? Thank goodness, because I usually prep the show the night before.
Yeah.
And as I'm doing so, there was a point where I had no news stories. I'd scrolled through everything and I was like, nothing
That changed.
Nothing is worth talking about. This is a dumb week.
Yeah, it was a light week.
It's like calm before the storm.
And then we woke up this morning. We're like, oh no, we got a topic.
Yeah, so the Xbox 1.5 returns stronger than ever. So we're going to talk all about that. That'll be our big segment coming up once we hit the news. But first, I wanted to plug a couple things. One is I'm super proud of my latest IGN Unfiltered. It's Cliff Bleszinski is my guest for this month's episode. Cliff is Cliff. He's great. We bleeped him, I believe the count was 62 times.
All right.
And for those wondering, why is a show called Unfiltered? In fact, filtered, it's IGN policy. We know that many of you are adults and can handle 4-letter words, but it's just
They can speak freely about whatever they want. We still have to bleep the swears.
So I get it if you don't like it, but I gotta imagine if that really ruins it for you, I'm sorry, but it's a really good.
We need to institute a policy where our swears get bleeped. Other people's swears. They can
Just whatever.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That would
We're a family-friendly,
employees. Yeah.
Well,
family-friendly IGN.com.
if only that were the
I
case
think we
here.
should do a thing where if you're subscribed to IGN Prime, you get all
You
the
get all the
cusses. You get
bleeps.
all the cusses.
Yeah, it's
Ages 12 and up.
like
Yeah.
the HBO of
not a bad idea.
HBO
I'm
version.
gonna
I
pitch
like
that.
that.
Yeah.
You should.
The actual technical side of that is a nightmare. Yeah. Oh my God, we have to do 16 renders for every video.
So Cliff came on. He talked. We went all the way back in time with him to. He designed his first game when he was in high school. How he sold his first game to Epic, which was crazy, and how he got hired by Epic and moved across the country, and just some really cool stuff. And plus some Gears of War stories. Gears of War stories. That could be the name of the next game, actually.
This isn't bad.
It could be like a prequel.
Telltale presents Gears of War stories.
I like where you're going
Instead
with
of
this.
bleep that out because I don't want someone to take it.
Did you ask him what
One of
game
the
he's
dialogue
most proud
choices.
of?
What?
Did you ask him the game he's most proud of?
I asked him-
Jazz Jackrabbit.
I asked him which Gears is his favorite. I asked him to pick his favorite child.
And he was wrong, which is weird. because
yeah.
He created the series, and he was wrong.
He was wrong.
Yeah.
I bet it wasn't 2.
You and Alana. What am I going to do with you guys?
Yeah, we're correct. That's why only one of us is here right now.
That episode is on IGN and YouTube. It'll be on iTunes very shortly. What else can I say? Oh, well, and then the mobile app. We've been asked to promote that a little bit because it's been super redone.
It's awesome, actually.
Super fast. You can see the full headline now, so it's you know exactly what you're getting
Even
into.
IGN Mobile just itself is great.
Yeah,
too.
the mobile
Yeah.
site
Yeah.
has been sped up.
Yeah, and you can filter
drastically.
if you don't care about specific platforms, if you don't care about movies or TV, or if you only care about movies and TV. It'd be weird that you're listening to this, but you're able to filter sort of. You can get the IGN you want, which is super cool.
Maybe people listening to this should keep the Xbox stuff on. Just a thought.
Maybe. Yeah.
We would like that.
I know there's people
Yes.
who listen to both this and beyond who don't own those respective
That's
consoles.
true. I hear from those people all the time, and it's
a lot of third-party talk.
It's
Good
the
to
most,
know what the other side
Well,
is up
honestly,
to.
it's like the most flattering thing you could probably say to me about this show is I don't even own an Xbox, but I like your podcast.
Yeah.
Like, thank you. That is very nice of you to say. I have nice things to say about Doom. That is a video game. I'm not done yet. I'm still going. It's meatier than most first-person shooter campaigns.
Yeah, the
these days.
campaign, like we were expecting like a 6-7 hour campaign, and it's almost like double that. I would say it's like a little over 10, probably 12.
I'm probably trajecting closer to 12. Is that a word?
Sure.
Can I do that?
Projecting, I think you meant.
Now we're trajecting it. Yeah, but it's one of those. It hasn't. I think you and I are near the same place, which is near the end of the game.
Yeah.
And it hasn't outstayed its welcome yet. It has.
No.
It keeps delivering your drip fed new mechanics and new abilities really well.
The power curve is perfect. You're being fed tougher and tougher enemies, but you're getting more and more abilities and better weapons
Yeah.
To combat
and so
them,
it stays fresh and relevant and interesting.
Yeah, and it's also like it's really cool. They keep introducing the new enemies, but they keep the old ones. And so by the end of the game, the combat arenas are filled with like 10 different types of enemies that all move very differently and act very differently and are sort of weaker to specific weapons, which makes, I love the fact that it doesn't do the Halo thing where you only have 2 weapons. Like, I love that I can carry all 9 my guns just fine. The combat scenarios are so good in that game.
Love his attitude, like the personality that the main character has, just through how he
Duke
interacts.
kind of
He's Duke Nukem without the terrible dialogue, and just like
I've been adding my own Duke Nukem dialogue as I play. I'm not joking. I actually have been.
Yeah,
but real talk, he's an a-hole.
Totally.
The only nice thing in that game is the little flying drone that lets you upgrade your weapon.
And
when you grab it, he punches it in the face, and then it like cowers in the corner, and I'm like, what a dick.
In the Doom Slayer's
drone killed
defense,
his family.
as he is referred to in the
hell,
game.
the Doom Slayer.
Yeah, if you had been effectively placed in a coma for centuries or millennia, and then you were woken up God, I gotta kill a bunch of Hell's minions now.
You just give me my upgrade.
You'd probably be a little angry too.
It's the one nice thing in the world. It's the one thing that's he's even mean to buttons. Like, he punches buttons.
He kicks them.
They had it coming.
Buttons.
But the thing actually that got me thinking, again, not done with the game yet, but before this game came out, I have to say I was worried that, because Doom has gone through some development phrasing hell of its own. You remember there was the report that eventually came out where they had scrapped an entire Doom 4 that was sort of Call of Duty-ish, that sort of very cinematic, storm the beaches of hell
I
kind
would
of thing.
love to see what that was.
Well, there were some screens and stuff that had leaked, but we never got to actually see it. But it got me thinking, like, so id Software spent, I believe it was $7 years
$1 billion. No, I'm just kidding.
Maybe, for all we know, but like 7 years on Rage.
Yeah.
Bethesda bought id during the Rage development process, and then Rage eventually came out. And Rage was good, but it kind of fell flat. Like, I don't think it sold super great.
And it was not memorable whatsoever.
It was not memorable. I reviewed it.
I remember it because id made it, and it was like, that's weird.
It was
Why didn't they make
brown
Doom?
as hell.
Yeah. The weapon combat in that game was amazing. Everything else, not so much. The weapon combat and the graphics were kind of the two.
Few games are live up to their 7-year dev cycle.
And so, with that kind of development cycle and that kind of end result and seemingly not so great sales, like, okay, well, that's not good. And then you have, and you've got this new parental overlord in the form of Bethesda, whereas it had always been independent for 20 years until they sold out to Bethesda. So you've got these corporate overlords looking over your shoulder now. Rage comes out, doesn't do so well. Now, then Doom gets announced and comes out 8 years later.
Yeah.
8 years. It was announced in 2008. And it came out in 2016, which, if I do the math correctly, is 8 years.
Maybe they thought the 8 on the end of 2008 meant wait 8 more years before you
Maybe,
actually...
or it was an infinity sign.
Just take your time.
But yeah, I thought, I wonder, after playing Doom now a bunch and loving the heck out of it, is Doom's critical and what I presume will follow is commercial success, has Doom saved id? Because is it reasonable to hypothesize that after Rage, and then if Doom had come out and fallen flat after 8 years, would Bethesda have just shuttered id? And
how are the sales is the question.
Or maybe
we don't
use
know
them
yet,
as a
but
tech
I think the sales are
studio.
going to be. I think they're going to be high.
I think they're going to be
so too.
okay. Just like, so we're in this bubble where we're hardcore gamers basically, and we all really like the game, but does that translate to worldwide sales?
I mean, I don't. Anecdotally, in the Unlocked and Beyond Facebook groups, like, all of the chatter up until Overwatch coming out was
still all the hardcore, which is like what, 20% of the market?
But that's who
also the name
influences everyone else.
Yeah, and also the name Doom.
I hope it succeeds.
Yeah,
I
think
worry it won't.
I think it'll be fine. I
But
think.
what do you guys think? Would it have been? Could this game have saved? Could this game being good have been like the Hail Mary pass for id Software?
Yeah, you can't run a business where you have 2 games in 14 years and both of them be duds. Like, you just can't do that. Again, when you look at when you put it alongside, what, an 8-year dev cycle, if you produce one game and that game doesn't deliver, and then you look at other studios that produce games,
3 games in that time.
Yeah, exactly. yeah, we always like when we talk about this could be the year where Doom comes out after 8 years, The Last Guardian comes out after 8 years, and Final Fantasy comes out after 10 years. Like, that is insane.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think, assuming, like Destin said, like, we don't know. Anecdotally, I think it's selling well, but we'll see when NPD comes out next month. But I think, yeah, this game could have absolutely saved them.
This game is like universally praised, and hopefully that translates into sales. But then there's a game like, you look back at Destiny and Bungie, like that game destroyed records probably. I don't know for sure, but like it sold
huge.
a ton of units, and for the most part it was like a 7 like on Metacritic when it launched.
But the difference is Destiny was designed with a very long tail in mind.
Sure.
The expansion packs, which you already talked about on Fireteam Chat, and the new one leaked. Whereas Doom is...
Does Doom have that same sort of staying power?
No, it's going to have DLC, but this is not a game people are going to be playing.
Not
years from now.
longevity-wise. I just mean, like, is the brand recognition still there? I think Bungie had brand recognition, so people trusted them for Destiny.
I think
and Doom,
I think more people know what Doom is than know what Bungie is.
Yeah.
I think
I would agree with that.
General
Absolutely.
consumer, if they see the word Doom, they're like, "Oh, that's that thing
The
I played on my
grandfather of
computer."
shooters.
Yeah. Whereas if people say Bungie, like unless you immediately follow it up with Halo
or Cord.
or Cord, yeah,
or jumping.
I don't think people know id that well. Like id
No,
software.
I don't-
but
yeah,
they
outside the
know
hardcore.
Doom.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Most
I think
people,
that
most people
age
don't
group's
know
older.
developers. Most people who buy a video game don't know who made it, unless it's Nintendo.
I think because it's such a large gap, my concern is Doom doesn't have the name recognition that it once did, and that's going to equate to lower sales than expected.
Doom 3 sold really well, right?
10 years ago. 11,
Yeah.
wait.
That's
12 years ago.
So is Doom
Did
the
well.
type of game that the, 16 to 25-year-old is looking for?
I think so.
I think this game is made for them. Yeah.
But we're all old.
Well,
Yeah, but I felt like this game was like made for someone younger than me, honestly. It was a weird thing to say, but like the
yet
gratuitous over the top violence
Yeah.
and everything. And I totally dig it.
Yeah.
And the game's not perfect. Like the story's dumb and some of the art design's kind of garish, and I got lost all the time because I can't tell where I came from and where I'm going. But like it's ultimately like, yeah, the game has flaws. I'm not gonna play its multiplayer, but like I'm totally digging the campaign.
I can't wait to see some sales numbers on this product because
I think
I hope it does well because I would be scared to see a world without it.
well,
Or
I'll tell you, that'll be a
Doom
big
developer.
question is, may NPDs,
I mean, it's good.
Uncharted, already, I know this is an
Yeah.
Xbox podcast,
Yeah,
but they put out sales
2.7
numbers.
million sold.
Right.
Sold through.
However, Doom's on 3 platforms.
Doom's on 3
versus
platforms,
one.
but
Yeah.
one of them, like, we don't get PC sales numbers. Same thing with Overwatch. We're not going to get PC sales numbers, and that's
Yeah.
going to be...
well, that'll be on Steam. So we'll
yeah,
we'll
but it's not
know.
part of NPD.
Yeah.
So
we
what do
can
you think?
we can look at those stats though and correlate that to a sale.
What do you think? Doom, number 1, number 2, number 3, NPD sales for May. What do you guys think?
6.
Really?
No,
Wow,
2.
Destin taking
6? What else is
Overwatch also came out.
Yeah, so
I think
what-
that's going to be number 1 for sure.
But you're missing Marty's excellent point.
yeah, Battleborn.
Almost all of the PC sales for Overwatch, which is a super
Doesn't
PC-centric
count.
game, will not be factored into NPD.
Also,
because
I bet you my life Battleborn is not ahead of Doom. Battleborn has
No
already
way.
dropped in price $20
there's
across
not
the
a
board.
chance. Yeah.
It's 1, 2, 3 is Uncharted, Doom, Overwatch in some order.
Minecraft.
No, what?
No, I'm not saying that as a joke. It's been on every NPD list.
Toward the bottom of the top.
Yeah,
10.
towards the bottom.
I mean, there's I'd bet $100 1, 2, 3 some combination of those 3.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah.
I don't know which way it'll go.
Yeah,
but
I don't know because with the PC sales, like I don't know, like
I think it'll be in hopefully the top 5. Doom. Yeah.
I think you're underestimating the power of ripping a zombie's heart out.
Ripping
and
and
making-
tearing.
I hope I'm wrong. I don't know. I just worry about Doom.
Last question on this topic for you guys. What do you think id does next? They have a hit. This is what's interesting is this is an id Software where the old guard is almost entirely gone. This Doom was created by basically a generation of developers that grew up on Doom rather than the guys that made Doom, which is interesting. And they've designed a very, very compelling game that manages to throw a lot of callbacks for guys like me that grew up on Doom just like they did, but also modernizing it. Do we think Doom 2 next? Do they take a shot at rebooting Quake next?
Yeah, because when we were talking about Quake the other week, you were mentioning machine games.
I mean, that's if they did it in the original sort of Lovecraftian Quake 1
Yeah.
style, I would love to see Machine do a Riddick Wolfenstein
Yeah.
type, just narrative-driven treatment to it.
Yeah.
But I could also see it working really well as id doing a Doom style
Yeah.
take on it, a Doom reboot style take on it.
I want him to do Hexen.
You're speaking my language right now.
I
The
want a
problem
first-person
with that-
magic-based game. Yeah.
You know the problem with that.
Who owns it?
Activision.
Oh, really?
Activision owns Raven. Raven made Hexen and Heretic.
yeah.
So it's time to abandon that dream right now.
I want to see id make something new, totally new. And
You're voting new IP.
Yeah, I mean I'm always going to vote new IP. I've seen Doom before. I just played Doom. I don't need a sequel right now. I want to see something new in between.
That's totally
Doom
legit.
and Doom 2.
Yeah.
You know, Doom 2 is their money maker. Hopefully, Doom and Doom 2 are their money makers, and with that money, they are given the permission to create something
Also,
new.
it needs to be.
And take a
you,
chance.
You can't have a 7-year, 8-year dev cycle anymore.
No,
you
I
can't.
don't think that'll
You gotta.
happen.
I mean, I'm sure they're split into 2 teams. I'm sure they're already working on their next thing.
Of course.
Who's the team doing Horizon?
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah,
Or
on
that's Guerrilla.
PlayStation.
That's Guerrilla. That's the Killzone.
Yeah.
folks.
Yeah, so they did Killzone. It made their money, and now they're allowed to try something new.
Well, Killzone
Yeah.
fizzled out.
Yeah, Killzone.
They're making Horizon because no one wants Killzone anymore.
But look at the excitement for a property like that.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean-
if the Doom guys came and they made their
They did
Horizon,
though, and
you
it was
know.
called Rage, and it wasn't very good.
Yeah.
and now
I'm just
most
Do
of those
they
guys
take a
don't
chance
work there
again?
anymore.
Yeah, and this is to be fair, this is like you said, this is a fresh team. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I'm always on your side in terms of new IP.
Totally.
But yeah, I mean, it would be, I don't know, it would be interesting to see them give this sort of TLC to like Quake.
That's the more I think about it.
That's what my gut says.
The more I think
They
about it, I'm
probably
with
will.
that, because if Machine isn't now, I guess the rumors that Machine is doing Wolfenstein New Order 2.
Yeah, which would make sense because the first one sold well.
Right. Therefore, if they're not doing a Quake, I actually think I'm with you, Marty. I think id's gonna go there next because
They did such a good job with Doom.
Well, they did
Do
such
the
a good
same
job,
thing with
but
Quake, modernize it.
the thing is, Bethesda. You got to go back, look at the business of it a little bit. Bethesda bought id. And
To make money.
why was id a valuable acquisition? Because of their IPs.
Yeah.
And also at the time, John Carmack, but
Yeah.
he's not there anymore. But yeah, you had Doom, Quake, Wolfenstein. I'm not even going to factor in Rage, whatever. But they've done Wolfenstein. They've now done Doom. I don't think they're going to let the Quake IP rot for much longer. So I think they're going to go to Quake next.
If they can do with Quake what they just did with Doom, that would be fantastic.
and-
but the scary thing is Doom's
Yeah.
multiplayer wasn't great.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
Yeah.
agree. Honestly, I could personally not care less.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
the
so-
market
I'm in
right
it for
now?
the campaign.
Wolfenstein came out and just didn't have multiplayer.
Yep,
I
which was fine
respected
by
that,
me as
yeah.
well.
That is a tough market to get into right now.
It
like,
is.
with all the games that just launched like in May, you know, like maybe like a year and a half from now they'll be able to launch a Quake, like a modernized Quake.
Yeah, think about too. Now they have the entire community on. It has the entire community rooting for them and on their side. Like, yes, you guys brought back Doom and it's great. Think of the excitement that they would generate if they said, "Here comes Quake."
Well, especially like if it was at a Bethesda conference and they were like, "Hey, look what we did with Wolfenstein. Look what we did with Doom.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna do it with Quake." And so in your mind, you're just like, "Oh, well, this is gonna work."
Yeah.
And also, like, Bethesda rarely makes a dud. Like whether they're,
Well, new Bethesda.
Well, new Bethesda, yeah.
Back in the day, in their early publishing days.
Totally. But yeah, like not only like obviously Skyrim and Fallout are incredible, but also just like the games they oversee.
Evil Within was
Evil
excellent.
Within, yeah, Wolfenstein, Doom.
Prey 2.
so-
Oh wait, sorry.
Hey, maybe we'll see Prey 2. I think we're going to see Prey 2 at E3. All the Dishonored stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
I noticed with these conversations more and more, I'm not thinking, would it be awesome? I just kind of assume, yeah, it'll be good. Strategically, when's the best time for the marketing cycle to begin? When could they start talking about this product that would get the people interested? And they would have their best chance to succeed with their product.
Are you talking about, is that an E3 segue?
Just talking about Quake.
Quake.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
the fact is they've probably been working on Quake for a week.
Yeah.
Seriously, I mean they had to finish Doom and any patches,
I don't know.
etc.
Like right
I
now
mean,
would
there's
be a
pre-production, right? But
If they announced Quake today, it'd be terrible. Just
no,
because
I mean, if there was a 10-second teaser at their E3 press conference.
E3, maybe that's a better time to do it. But
next
today would be bad because everybody's talking about Overwatch and Battleborn and Doom.
Yeah,
it would be cannibalized. The announcement would be cannibalized.
I mean, they're not going to not
products.
announce it in a grand fashion.
Yeah.
Totally. I think next E3 is the year.
Yeah,
to
probably.
tease it, not show it, just to tease it, because it'll be
Or maybe in August, Gamescom.
Maybe, but Bethesda seems to be banking on they've been doing E3 conferences now for last year and this year, and that seems to be a big focus for them. So,
Yeah.
All right, we shall see. But yay for Doom! I'm just pleasantly surprised because
I'm happy it's good.
I don't want to sound too pessimistic, but when a game has been in development as long as Doom has, and it's there were the reports of the development hell of like a lot of people leaving and them sort of scrapping a whole game and starting over. Often that doesn't end well.
And the fact, we talk about this a lot, but the fact that we didn't get review copies early,
that was a red flag.
That's not always bad. But a lot of times it is, and so we were like,
we got our Ninja Turtle review copies late.
Oh no! I think that one's in a different scenario than me. Yeah.
Oh man. And by the way, for anybody that's watching this going, then why did you guys give it a 7.1 out of 10?
Because a review is a single person's opinion.
A single person's opinion, and we defend their right to have their
that
opinion
opinion.
and state their opinion, and we're allowed to feel differently.
Yeah.
As I think I said it already before, but there were plenty of people in this office that felt very differently about Alien Isolation than me. So and that's okay.
Everyone feeling the same about something's boring.
Totally. Yeah. Let's not have boring things when we talk about Xbox 1.5.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
Right after this. All right, news time, and there is one topic that matters this week because the rest
Also,
of it's...
hi, Alana.
Also, hey,
Yeah, let's acknowledge the whole other person back.
She just magically appeared.
I teleported here. Hello.
Yeah.
Wow, it took that long?
Teleport slow.
Yeah. It's like one of those things where you can only teleport a certain distance, like a Tracer in Overwatch. Because I've been playing a lot of that.
That game's
We're
good.
not talking about it yet, so...
Game's
Well, we're not going to have time to talk about it this week. We'll talk about Overwatch next week. Everybody seems to be loving it so far. That's
I
the
really
general
like it.
consensus.
so cool that it's a console and FPS game, and everybody's loving it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Like it works on everything.
Yeah, I'll try it between now and next week's show, so I have something to say. But I'm still trying to finish Doom.
Also, Marty, you should play Quantum Break so we can talk about that.
Oh, dang.
Anyway, the subject at hand this week is the old Xbox 1.5, which that's just the colloquial term.
Yeah.
That's not what it's called. In fact, it is apparently called Project Scorpio.
That's a real dumb
Scorpio.
that's a real
Accent
dumb
is
boom.
mine.
Hank Scorpio?
You don't like Scorpio?
No, Hank Scorpio.
Oh, Hank
That's the
Scorpio?
Character from The Simpsons.
Is this a megaton? Do we still call stuff megatons? Do we not do that now?
Nah.
Ah.
That's just a Fallout thing.
It's
No, that
blast
was
from
a
the
news
past.
story thing.
Yeah,
like
that was back in the
7
day.
years
Yeah.
ago.
So yeah,
Everything was a
Fallout.
megaton.
Kudos
Yeah.
to Kotaku for piecing this together. So they have multiple anonymous sources corroborating the fact here, seeming fact that this E3, my 2016 prediction from January is going to come true. We're going to get the Xbox One Slim this year. It will be 40% smaller.
Wow.
And apparently be packing a 2 terabyte hard drive.
real big.
Thank goodness,
Yeah.
because boy, it needs that.
Yeah.
And then the Scorpio, that is the upgraded box. That is the next thing, the 1.5, if you will. And it's going to have a better GPU that is capable of outputting at 4K resolution. We're looking at that for 2017. Sources also say Microsoft is seeking to form a partnership with Marty.
Oculus.
You guessed it.
I called it.
I think it was me that guessed this.
No, don't take
I'm
my
pretty
guesses.
sure it was.
I think
Don't
we
steal
all,
credit.
we all thought
Good
this.
job, Alana.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So,
Dead to me.
but it's apparently they're in discussions right now. We don't know, or at least the leakers and reporters don't know if the Scorpio will officially support Oculus. But boy, that would be an interesting turn of the tables, wouldn't it? Because the
Definitely think they're going to try.
Xbox
They
One
need it. They need a VR thing.
Xbox One has been underpowered compared to the PS4 and suffered the wrath of the gaming community for it for these few years. It would be interesting if in the VR world the Sony had the
better.
underpowered headset because
and if it meant that it had access to the whole Oculus library,
That would be
then
cool.
It instantly wins because that currently has the best library of any of the VR platforms.
so
Yeah.
far,
Yeah, I mean, Sony doesn't have a library yet.
yeah.
I used the Oculus.
Yeah.
I used the Oculus for the first time a few days ago. It is just as good as the Vive, and you can sit down. I like that.
Well,
It's down to the Vive too.
I think the Vive
I'm
is
not going to
better,
get into that
but
argument. I think the Vive is better as well, but the Oculus is super comfortable.
really good.
super light, and the built-in menu.
I like the sensors easier to set up. Like
really
the
easy.
Vive's just really finicky in my experience.
It's easier to set up now. It's going to be just as complicated by the end of the year when
have
Oculus
two
Touch
cameras.
comes
Yeah.
out.
That too.
Yeah.
true. So
Do you have to
so
just
we don't
touch every
know-
surface in your house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't know the facts yet on the Oculus side other than they appear to be in discussions. Now, all of this is apparently part of Project Helix.
All these names are dumb, Ryan.
Hold on. I'm gonna-
That's oh my
Oh my
god!
God.
What if it doesn't? What if it sticks like that?
Help me!
Man, if you listen to the audio version of that
That's
was
gonna
weird.
be weird.
Ryan just transformed.
So apparently,
Anamorphed.
Project Helix is a effort at Microsoft to unify Xbox and Windows platforms, and that includes, according Halo and everything is going to be just coming to both. Like it's all, which they've been greasing the skids for the last 6 months at least.
I mean, that's not surprising at all to me.
No, that part is certainly not.
Yeah.
Now there's the Oculus thing, really. I mean, these all seem like smart decisions on Microsoft part, but
Kotaku-
there is one that we're going to discuss.
Yeah, Kotaku also reports that Microsoft will be going towards an iterative hardware model with more frequent
That's
incremental
the
updates.
one.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what do you guys think about this? Because a lot, my Twitter feed was pretty mixed. Some people were kind of stoked on it. Other people were, the same thing. The Neo on the PlayStation side got a lot of negative reaction because I think it largely stems from people being afraid that they, as early adopters, will be left behind in this.
Yeah, I think it's too early to really lean too hard one way or another. Just
Yeah.
because A, none of these boxes are confirmed. I mean, they're all but confirmed. B, we don't know what the price of these are going to be. We don't know what the specs are going to be. And C, we don't know if there's ever going to be a time in this generation where you literally can't play Halo 7 on a launch Xbox One. You
Right.
can only play it on a Scorpion box or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my attitude is that I'm staying open-minded to it, or trying to consider like other things that we've seen in tech that have done similar things. Because right now we have nothing to go off of. Unless I know what those iterative hardware upgrades are going to be, I feel like I can't be mad yet.
We've talked about this at IGN, like the whole idea that console hardware just ceases to exist, and we kind of come up with these, like, instead of Xbox One and then a new name for each, it's just like, this is the Xbox One 2016, 2017, 2018. It's becoming more and more like a PC.
Well, Phil kind of prepped us for this. You remember his comments from the spring showcase where he said, everything we're doing now is always going to work on our next thing.
Yeah.
He's kind of been talking up the ecosystem factor.
Yeah.
And go ahead, Marty.
Well, no, and Microsoft has done a better job than Sony at preserving their former generation's legacy by backwards compatibility.
Yes.
I mean, that was huge at E3 last year and has been huge with every drop and every drip throughout the year.
Not worried
So
about
weird
this.
to think about, like, the fact that they did that last year means that they were planning to make this announcement this year, probably. Like, I wonder
yeah. I mean, yeah, this
how
stuff
many
is years in
ahead
advance.
they plan out each three. That like this one will say this one will say this. That'll be a buffer for the thing
Right.
they say the next year.
Yeah.
Like, it's so intricate.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
It
not,
is.
not worried about the software side, but it's becoming like the iPhone. Like, I just dropped $600 on this console, or however much it was at launch day. 500.
Yeah.
And like now I have to drop what, $400
You don't
on the.
have to do anything.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but if it's that much better
But we
and
don't
it's going
know
to do
that. We don't
4K
know
and
what-
support Oculus and have a bigger hard drive, I'm just like,
This
okay.
is where I think
know?
I hear this from people,
Yeah.
and I take issue with this because people that complain, oh, well, I paid $500 and now you want me to pay $400 or $500 more.
Yeah.
But you've been playing and enjoying it for the last 3 years. You've gotten your money's
I guess
worth
it
out
has
of
been
it.
3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're coming up.
So
on
now
it.
the console cycle is 3 years. Like the PS2 was what, 10? It was way longer than 3.
No, it was 2000 to 2006.
I mean, maybe that's the point, is
Yeah.
that it's actually just that we're used to long console cycles. Like, I have brought this up before in that it's not that different to a phone, in that it's a little bit cheaper. But at the same time, there's no way I get as much use out of my Xbox One as I do out of my phone.
True.
Yeah.
Upgrade my phone maybe every second year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe if it equaled out to consoles 4 years, that'd somehow be a weird
Maybe you should
parallel.
upgrade. Maybe you should upgrade your phone every year.
I probably should. Yes. I have a lot of trouble
Okay,
with my
Marty.
phone.
How long did it take you to?
Marty.
Yeah, you're not the
I was
person to
always
talk about.
reachable.
Yeah.
Well, except right now, I'm not reachable.
Yeah.
My texts are being weird.
Oh, that's
There you go.
That's not a
You
that's
should
not
upgrade
good.
your phone.
Yeah, I really don't feel great about this. I do feel like I'm getting kind of snubbed if I don't upgrade because it sounds like the hardware, the next hardware iteration is going to be fantastic and stuff that I've had to buy an external hard drive for my Xbox One
Right.
and invest
Me too.
in this platform. You know, like I bought it with the Kinect. I had to buy the external hard drive, and I've made all these investments to it. And there's-
You're using the word "have to." You did not have to buy an external hard. I don't have an
You're
external
right.
hard drive.
I could have just deleted hardware or deleted the software
do.
all the time.
That's what I do.
Well, yeah, but there's like 7 games that I play regularly. I would have
Oh,
had to like
that's a lot of games.
constantly had to
There's a lot
like
of games
delete
that you
one
play
and then
regularly.
install one.
Stop
What
playing
are they all?
Destiny.
Yeah.
Just stop.
Like,
I-
Destiny,
hard
Grand
drive.
Theft Auto, Rainbow Six, and your hard drive is full.
Your Grand
You
Theft
know.
Auto, yes, that's
Yeah,
true.
Yeah.
But also, like 4K. I don't care about
I don't
4K
care
because
about
I'm not going to have a 4K TV for a long time.
Right.
So I'm totally fine with the TV I bought 5 years
One
ago.
of my
so-
friends really wants to buy an Xbox One at the moment and keeps being like, what should I do about E3? And I was like, just wait until they announce
Yeah.
something in E3 and then maybe the current console will get cheaper.
Yep.
But he's like, oh, but what if I want the next one? I'm like, you don't have to buy it. Like,
Yeah.
yes, marketing is there designed to tell you to buy it, but you don't have to. I think it's worse for people who had it on day one.
Yeah.
Like, I had a day one edition. I have it on my, Xbox One controller.
Yeah.
I think it's worse for people who invested really, really early in something
But-
to be pushed out, I guess.
Well, and that's where
I
I
get
think
your side as well, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Totally
But
do.
I think it's that fear of being left behind, and so that's where I think it falls on Microsoft to. Messaging has not been their strong suit this generation.
Yeah.
Certainly better about it the last couple of years, but it's on them to make it explicitly clear exactly how current Xbox One owners, early adopters, are going to be
Okay.
taken care of.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they
What-
had some kind of deal that was like, give us that Xbox and we'll give you the new one for really.
But I'm not even
You
talking.
can go to
talking
any
about,
Microsoft store
Right.
and trade it in,
Right.
and you pay $50 and
Yeah,
you get
but
the
I'd
new
be happy
version.
with
I'm
that.
like, hell yeah, I'll
Yes,
do that.
That would be cool. But I'm
You
not
know.
even talking about that. I'm talking about for the people that aren't going to or can't spend $400 or $500 on the upgraded Xbox.
Yeah.
It's on them to explicitly lay out all developers and publishers are required to continue to release games that run on the 2013
On everything.
Xbox that
Yeah.
run at that run at the current standard that you're used to, the current standard of quality. They can't be, gimped or nerfed or
I have
or
faith
disasters.
that they will do that. Like,
So
I really
it- but
think they
For me, I'm like, I guess I should have just kept my 360,
But
because
that's what
You know.
I think it's on. That is Microsoft's challenge is to make it clearer than clear. Like, because if they leave any ambiguity, they've already seen what the wrath of the community can
Yeah.
do.
I've spoken to a handful of developers, and people who are not happy about these hardware iterations are developers.
Yeah.
They are
So,
not happy
Who
about
have to
this.
certify more stuff and
Or have to also
test more
release
stuff.
a quote
Develop the
unquote
two
dumbed
things.
down version of their game.
Right.
we made a joke at the beginning of the show about, IGN having different versions of every video. It's the same sort
Yeah.
of philosophy.
Yeah.
Like
It
having to
is,
do
yeah.
7 exports of
It is.
one thing,
Sure.
of one game.
Yeah, I mean, now a
on-
multi-platform
Yeah.
Ubisoft game is now going to have to be released on
PS4,
PS4,
PS3.
PS4.5, PC, Xbox One, Xbox 1.5,
I mean,
the
does
Nintendo
the box art have to say
NX.
that?
NX.
What?
Like,
What
does
about
the
a
box
game-
art have to say PS 4.5 on it? Or
Yeah.
Xbox 1.5
Yeah,
on
and then
it?
what are
Like,
the
is that a
rules
thing
that they have to follow?
do?
I mean,
Are
it
they gonna
depends
have a
on-
I
separate-
think
it depends on what the
legally they
branding is
do.
gonna be.
Legally they do.
Wow.
That's perfect segue.
360 PS. Like, what about the ones that
No
are
one's
on
making
last
games for
hardware?
those.
I think
Destiny probably will.
I may have said this on the show before, but I really think, given that what Phil has said about sort of wanting to just have that ecosystem that always stays with you and that you'll be able to play, anything they do now, you'll always be able to play
I still play
5
my
years
Xbox
from now.
360 all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to support that console forever, probably.
But I think I think Scorpio will just be called the Xbox, and I think they're going to drop the Xbox One name from future versions because that's a name that has a stink on it. Like
Xbox One.
it does from
Yeah, it does.
not for us, but that first impressions go a long way, and there are people that still think the Xbox One has to be always connected online.
Yeah, there's still
to,
that meme where it's compared to a brick.
Yeah, so
It's like,
I think
it's Wi-Fi
Unplug your Ethernet,
connectivity.
nothing.
Yeah.
I think they rebrand slowly as just Xbox, so that every future version is just the Xbox.
So does that mean
same
that
thing
you
like
think
with iPad?
We're
Yeah.
not going to have different solid releases anymore. Like there's not going to be a next Xbox. It's just going to be a continuously evolving Xbox.
I think
Oh yeah, I have
eventually,
Xbox serial number 1.875. You know, yeah.
I think eventually there will come a time where Halo 7 is going to require the
Well,
Xbox 2020
Like how
year
there's
version.
iOS games that require an iPhone
Exactly
5S and
correct.
above or whatever.
Same exact thing.
How
there
the-
will come a point where they have to draw the line.
but you
that's
think
gonna
we're
be
not
real
going to have
confusing.
like an Xbox 360, Xbox One comparison anymore? You think it's just going to keep evolving?
I do.
How did Microsoft get in the PS3 disaster at launch where they had the 40 gig, the 60 gig, and the 80 gig, and they all had slightly different variations? Like, with the way they launched this, they could be getting into that territory, and that's dangerous.
Yeah, but Sony is
That
also
was
getting.
awful.
They're both.
Yeah.
They're both
They're
in
both
this
doing it, yeah.
weird ship together.
Well, Sony just
You
has
know-
PS4 and maybe this hardware upgrade, unless you know something.
Here's a
I
thing
don't.
to think about.
do.
This is a great point that Jared Petty was making earlier. He and I were talking about this
Great guy.
in the bullpen this morning. Wonderful
nice.
human being. Sony doesn't like Microsoft. It's actually in their corporate interest to do this because they have the Windows platform and the whole Windows user base. It's in their interest to try and wrap all that into one thing with Xbox. Sony doesn't have that. They just have PlayStation, but I wonder if Sony is kind of going down the same ecosystem. Everything's going to just be one walled garden because Microsoft is kind of forcing their hand because they could see the writing on the wall that Microsoft was going to do this because it's probably in Sony's better individual business interest to just do what they've done forever and press the full reset button every 5 to 7 years
Yeah.
and start over with PlayStation 5.
Yeah, I think VR
But Microsoft now will not allow them to do that because Microsoft is going to just have a never-ending
That's
I think
true.
VR. I think
Yeah.
VR was the curveball in there. I would say it's I
That's
don't know.
true, yeah.
I think the Sony doubling down on PSVR forced their hand more so than Microsoft because I think for the PSVR to look for future iterations of the PSVR to look and run comparable to Oculus and Vive,
Yeah.
they're going to need more powerful hardware.
That's
a really
true.
interesting point is like how much has VR influenced the way that tech is going to come out after that? Because
That is a good
VR
point.
Yeah.
definitely needs to be upgraded a lot because it ages very, very quickly.
And-
like even playing old VR games now that I played a year ago at GDC,
Nauseating.
they look like crap and they
Yeah.
make you feel sick. It's like
Yeah.
that's going to have to keep evolving. So maybe the consoles are just trying to keep up with that.
You make a
One-
good point
yeah.
too. Oh, sorry, Dustin, go ahead.
Well, once you use VR and see any of those tech demos that they kind of introduce you to what VR is, like the Oculus has one, Vive has one, you really understand that this is important. Like this
Totally.
is a
Yeah.
gaming platform that's not going away.
I mean, it is a fact that the PlayStation VR headset is not as technically impressive as the Oculus is,
Yeah.
and therefore the Kotaku piece did state that the specs apparently, according to what they had heard, have not been finalized for Scorpio.
Oh, totally.
Therefore, I wonder if we could be looking at a more powerful machine than the Neo or than just we expect. Because if they are going to run Oculus on this thing, Oculus needs some
powerhouse.
hardware.
Yeah,
It's a
Oculus
powerhouse.
needs some beef.
If you build a PC, like the minimum PC to build to run an Oculus,
$1,200.
is
980, I
real
think.
expensive.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how expensive are these boxes going to be? Like, they're not going to be $400.
I think Neo and Scorpio will be $5.
What dumb names for things? Neo
They're
and
code
Scorpio.
names.
Code names.
We're
What was the
adults.
original Xbox One code name? I mean, PSVR was
The
great.
Revolution for the Wii.
Orbis? Was that it?
Correct.
Yes.
Wait,
They're all-
Orbis was the PlayStation 4.
What?
Durango.
Durango, you're right.
yeah.
And then
Codenames
yeah,
are bad.
VR was
Yeah, well,
Morpheus. Like they're
they're meant
all
to be.
really
Yeah.
dumb, but
They're meant to
I mean,
be.
I am super excited about the idea of the Xbox getting Oculus support. Like I want that so bad. That
Yeah.
would just like
They need it. They need a VR
they
solution.
do
would-
need it, but even like removing the whole competition thing, like for me as a primary Xbox
Oh.
gamer and the Oculus, compatibility with the Xbox controller, it's what I'm
Yeah.
used to playing
Yep.
Oculus with.
Yeah,
like, I
like-
just
Well,
want that in my house.
and
so
They
bad.
already have that relationship. So,
Exactly.
Yeah.
You make a good point because Xbox and Oculus officially partnering up on a console compatibility situation would mean that the game development would just drastically accelerate for the
and also
Oculus.
we would get Microsoft licenses on
Yeah.
Oculus. Like I'm super excited by that. That's awesome.
Get some VR Halo.
So what the hell's HoloLens then?
It's
I think HoloLens is
not a
separate.
gaming device
Yeah,
right now.
I think it's
They've
not a gaming
shown
device.
the Halo weird thing and the Minecraft thing, but they've made no. They've actually been pretty clear about like this is a business enterprise device
Totally,
for
yeah.
now. Like I'm not. It could be a gaming device in the future, but HoloLens until they improve the field of view, there's no way it's acceptable for gaming. It's
I don't think it's
amazing.
intended to be.
Did you use it last year?
I
HoloLens?
used it briefly.
Which
The
one?
Halo
didn't do the
demo,
Halo
right?
Halo thing or the Minecraft
I did
thing?
the Minecraft thing.
I didn't do that. Was it cool?
Yeah, it's really
Because
cool.
the Halo thing was incredible.
I just saw someone
Yeah.
else playing and I didn't get to do anything.
Yeah, but yeah, it's like the mail slot field of view is not going to fly in a gaming setup. So
That's
Totally
super
wasn't
early.
thinking of mail MAIL. I was thinking MALE. That was a very weird thought.
dark.
Think about mail slots?
I was thinking about some mail slots.
Sorry to our 8-year-old listeners.
What about the Illuma room?
What?
Marty.
Oh, that was no.
I loved that thing.
I wanted to snow in
wasn't
my
real.
bedroom.
But it was so pretty.
If you
though.
have 50 grand, you could probably get your own custom one
That's
built.
true.
Also,
You
drugs.
just need a projector, really.
Custom projector.
Yeah.
Be good.
Also, drugs.
Doesn't hurt.
You just take some acid.
They
Yes,
they
it does,
absolutely do
Ryan. It hurts. You're a dad.
I'm sorry. Hopefully my kid's not listening to this. All right, so Slim looking like this year. Upgraded Xbox next year, which will of course have its own. It won't be in the case that the Xbox One is in now, I'm sure.
I'm really glad we're holding off on our predictions episode until right before E3 because
This is why we said last week, so we could be less wrong.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
exactly why. So
we're still going to be wrong.
we're totally going to be wrong, but we're just going to be less wrong.
Yeah,
than
that's
before.
what matters.
Fewer wrong.
Fewer.
So obviously, would love to hear everybody's reactions to the Scorpio stuff. Unlocked at IGN.com is the place you can email us. Maybe we'll do a mailbag segment, which we almost literally never do. But this is a big topic. Head to head now.
I was thinking mailbag MALE as well.
Damn it, Marty.
Stop it.
Leave.
We got 4
Are you
minutes left.
freeballing it
Please go to
today?
trivia.
You have 4 minutes left.
Yeah.
Destiny's next expansion.
Trivia. No,
Trivia.
trivia.
It's not.
Do we want to
Trivia.
marketplace report?
Yes.
Games with
Retail.
gold.
What can we buy
Overwatch.
this week?
Games with gold in June are fantastic. Get them all.
Okay, seriously.
Yeah.
Retail, we have Overwatch, which I've been playing, and it's excellent.
It's great.
We also have TMNT Mutants in Manhattan
Don't
for
get that.
$50. Apparently, it's really good.
No.
We also have
No,
Tropical
apparently it's
Apparently
not.
it doesn't work
It's
on
bad.
Xbox One
Oh,
online.
really?
It runs at
Everyone
sub
I've seen
30
tweet about it has
frames.
been like, this game's great.
Oh, no.
Never mind.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Tropico 5 Penultimate Edition is $50.
Can we talk about that for a
Yes,
second?
because I brought this up when I read the press release yesterday. I'm like, so wait,
Tropico
it's the
5.
second to last edition?
Penultimate means second to last. So
Do they not know what penultimate means?
I think it's a
Calypso?
joke.
No, it's not a joke.
It's no.
What is it? It doesn't. That means don't buy this because there's going to be a
another
better
one.
edition
Yeah,
coming.
There's another version coming.
That's real dumb. Digitally, we have iDub Tightwad Edition, which is $12.75,
Yes.
and Cubicolor, which is $8 and is a color matching puzzle game. On the marketplace, May Games with Gold, we have Defense Grid 2 all month long and Costume Quest 2 May 16 to June 15. On Xbox 360, Grid 2
that's
May 1st
over.
to May
Yeah, my bad. I
16.
didn't cross that. Cross that off.
Peggle,
May
ignore that.
16 to May 31.
Yes, Peggle.
June.
And June Games with Gold, we have Goat Simulator
Awesome.
on Xbox One all year, and Super Meat Boy on
Get it.
360 all year,
Yeah.
all month long. We have The Crew on Xbox One
Good,
from
decent
June
racer.
16 to June 15, and XCOM Enemy Unknown
XCOM's
from
good
June
stuff.
The
16
big
to
winner,
30.
XCOM.
The Crew is fine.
It's a good month. This is a
Crew
really
is
good
like
month.
the perfect free game.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a very good
Yeah.
free
It's
game.
Like, oh, I wouldn't pay $20 for this, but I'll play it free.
Yeah, for sure.
You get
XCOM
on-
being free. Hell yeah.
Well, what's cool is you can get online with your friends, and
Yeah.
nobody has to pay a dime for it.
Yeah.
You all
Yeah.
just download the free game, and you can go on and drive around the country together. I like that.
Yeah. I do that for free.
Also, Super Meat Boy, real good game.
Super
Yeah.
good. Super meaty good.
And Costume Quest 2. I still really need to play that.
You're not gonna. You're not gonna.
I'm probably not going to have time.
Trivia.
All right, we'll get right out of here after trivia right after this. All right, trivia. We got to move quickly. We're late for a meeting. Here
It's
we
an
go,
E3
guys.
meeting though, so E3 is gonna go well.
It is going to go well. I hate the lead up to E3, and then I love it when we get there.
Yeah.
It's so much fun every year. It's so
Because we
good.
plan so well.
Yeah, it's just too many. It's Christmas morning for the video game industry. Gentleman and lady,
Hello.
Connor Hutton writes in and he wins a free game, which, by the way, I wish I'd brought his name in here, but a super nice listener mailed a copy of Wolfenstein: The New Order, which we were talking about earlier,
nice.
to give away on the show, which is just paid for the postage, went to the trouble of bringing it to the post office. That is awesome.
Also,
Yeah,
that game
Our
is
audience,
incredible.
Yeah,
Real good game.
also that. So, Connor, you can have that if you want. Otherwise, we have some other things like old Gears of War games that are backwards compatible, Alan Wake, Quantum Break on PC.
Choose
etc.
Gears of War 2, the best Gears of War game, as voted by us.
Agreed.
Cliff says it's 3.
Cliff can't see the
wrong.
forest through the trees.
I don't have to watch
Because
Unfiltered
he
now.
chainsawed them.
I was going there also. I was going to the exact same place. Okay, Connor Hutton asks, in what movie, this is a feature film, straight out of Hollywood, was there an Xbox 720 advertisement in the background? Do you guys remember this? I happen to remember
think I
this.
do.
Was it the movie Zombieland, Real Steel, Hangover, or Taken?
I've only
Do
seen
you
2 of these
all
movies.
remember? Everyone has marked their
I'm
answers.
gonna
I know my answer. I don't
I'm
need to
gonna
mark
change
it.
it.
I'll go first.
You're marking it just to make for the record. Okay.
Oh, yes.
Everybody,
I just changed it to that.
you're look at Destin's covering his answer.
always
He's
cover it.
protective of it.
Yeah, but that's what I picked too.
Well, we all picked Be Real Steel.
Everyone
Yeah.
picked B Real Steel.
Wait,
Did you
even
read
go
the
over
options?
answers? A, Zombieland.
Well,
B, Real
I did.
Steel. C, Hangover. D,
You don't-
Taken.
you don't
I don't
listen
think
to
you
the
did,
show
dude.
As we're recording it, I said those. I said them.
Did you?
I don't think you
I
did
don't
right.
think you
did,
I
dude.
100%.
I think
I
you said A,
those.
Zombieland. Did you all mock your answers?
No, I said
Yeah.
them all.
I
Okay,
100%
maybe we're
just
all
said
right.
it. I can't wait to listen to the audio.
Well,
Do an edit,
Ryan
Mr.
can edit
Bourne.
it. It's
Oh my
fine.
God.
Do an
Yeah,
edit.
yeah,
I
more
can
about-
too.
Ryan can edit.
Damn,
You
damn it.
guys.
He's going to make us sound so
like-
dumb.
So
You
is it
guys.
Real Steel?
It is Real Steel. Everybody gets
All
it.
right.
I was gonna say Zombieland because that seemed like the
go to
most
our
likely
meeting.
to have this kind of thing, but then I was like, wait, what is Real Steel? I'd completely forgotten what that.
I
movie
never
was.
saw Real
It
Steel.
was a Rock'em
Then I
Sock'em
remembered
Robots
all the
movie
with Hugh
advertising
Jackman,
in it.
with
Yeah.
Wolverine.
and
That was
Kate
like
from
loads
Lost.
of advertising
And some kid that likes robots.
Yeah, like most kids, I think, unless they're wrong.
All right.
Robots or
Everybody's
dinosaurs,
got
I
their
think.
points.
Oh, yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
good stuff.
Well,
If you want to win a copy of an Xbox game, send your trivia question, including 4 multiple choice answers. Please note the correct one in your email to unlocked@ign.com.
Whoa!
Ryan, that's amazing.
Subscribe to our YouTube
Plug
channel.
things. Oh, yes.
YouTube.com/IGN Unlocked.
Let's get more subscribers than
We
those
are in the
Beyond
comments,
Fools.
so we can
Sure.
chat to you on there
It's
and
fine.
talk about stuff.
Follow me
No
on
matter who
Twitter
wins, I
at Destin
win.
Legary. Don't care. Otherwise, I don't have anything else to promote. I mean, but yeah, follow
Except
me,
our
please.
YouTube channel.
Oh, wait.
I thought we did that
Somebody
already.
actually
Yeah.
do. Watch our part 1 of our Making of Final Fantasy 15 documentary that Andrew Goldfarb, Zach Ryan, and I went to Japan
IGN
for.
first thing?
It's really good. It's not an IGN first thing, but it's this amazing. Part 1 is 8 minutes long. It's chronicling the long, arduous 10-year road from Versus 13 to Final Fantasy 15. It's very good. There's exclusive footage, amazing interviews.
Awesome.
It tells a really great story. Incredible edit by Kirk. Go watch that.
That was really good.
Brilliant.
Also, I'm going to Fanime this weekend. Marty's going to Kind of Funny Live.
Yeah.
too. So
Yeah, if
Oh.
you're at Kind of Funny Live on Saturday, say
I'll
hi.
be at
Say
that.
hi
Yeah.
to lots of people at different stuff in the Bay Area this weekend. So we hope to see you around.
Yes.
Excellent. I'm at DMC_Ryan, and that's all that matters. Whatever. Let's go to our E3 meeting.
Bye.
There's pizza
See you guys
there.
next
That's why
week.
we're in a
Bye.
hurry.
Pizza.
Pizza.